Hi, I'm Eric Bolling in for Bill O'Reilly. Our top story tonight, the IRS getting grilled on Capitol Hill. Today, IRS Commissioner John Koskinen faced a grueling hearing in front of the House Ways and Means Committee. The tax agency has been slammed after admitting it lost 2 years' worth of emails by former IRS official Lois Lerner, the central figure in the targeting of conservative groups. But apparently, the IRS doesn't think it did anything wrong.
What I didn't hear in that was an apology to this committee.
I don't think an apology is owed. Not a single email has been lost since the start of this investigation. Every email has been preserved that we have produced or will produce by the end of this.
You don't think the time period between January 2009 and April 2011 is relevant to this investigation?
It is a very relevant time.
All right.
Well, meanwhile, Democrats on the committee wasted no time today trying to discredit the entire investigation.
Have you ever been in Benghazi?
No.
How about Area 51 out in Roswell, New Mexico, where all those space aliens allegedly came? Have you ever had any responsibility for that?
No.
Have you ever had custody of the president's birth certificate?
No.
Well, Commissioner, I believe one of the mistakes that you've made in dealing with the committee today is that you did assume professionally that this was a serious inquiry. I believe it is an endless conspiracy theory that's involved here that is being exploited solely for political purposes.
Well, despite Democrats' best efforts to sweep the whole scandal under the rug, can we really still believe that there's not a smidgen of corruption involved here, as President Obama put it to Bill O'Reilly back in February? Joining us now is Steve Laser, Democrat strategist and aide for President Obama's 2008 presidential campaign. Steve, that hearing, my jaw dropped when the Democrats started playing that game. Area 51, birth certificate. They were making a mockery out of it. A very serious topic, don't you think?
Well, thanks for having me on, Eric. I have to admit that I agree with them. I totally agree that this is a trumped-up scandal. But we can talk about the particulars here, the emails, if you want to.
What's trumped up about a scandal? We're trying to find out if Lois Lerner, who was in charge of the special exempt groups, she can't find 2 years of emails. We're trying to find out what happened there.
Well, at the very base of this scandal, you have whether conservative groups were unfairly targeted. They weren't. We've had a number of analyses now that show that liberal and progressive groups were denied tax-exempt status at almost the same rate.
Stay on these emails.
So regarding the emails, I've spent nearly 20 years in IT, including 2 to 3 years consulting in disaster recovery and business continuity. You'd be surprised how many instances just like this you see in the public and private sector.
How many?
How many what?
Instances have you seen where you lose 2 years' worth of emails?
I've seen
by the way, once the emails were lost, there were a lot of people who said, you know what, don't worry, they're on the hard drives. Guess what happened yesterday?
So they said they couldn't find the hard drives.
They lost the hard drives, too.
That's actually, so when you have a position where you have public data on hard drives, and those people get new computers, you have to destroy the hard drives. Otherwise, now you have people's personal data out there, particularly in the case of the IRS, their income, their addresses, phone numbers, and things like that out there on the hard drives. And now then you would say that you're not doing the right thing to protect people's data.
There was a hearing where, and I can't remember who was testifying, said, yeah, don't worry, we're going to turn over all the emails. And that was in February. Now, all of a sudden, in May, they can't find the emails or the hard drives. And now this gentleman, John Koskinen, says, don't worry, we have them all. We're still looking for them.
Well, the root of this problem is the fact that prior to 2013, the IRS had an antiquated tape backup system to protect its email data. And every 6 months, old data was essentially deleted. So if you lost or had data destroyed, the clock started ticking. 6 months later, if you didn't have that data recovered, it was gone. That's the problem here. And
or the root of the problem is that they just think the American people are fools and we're going to believe anything they're shoveling our way, and including we can't find the emails.
You know what? If they had somehow circumvented the policy that was in place for email recovery and retention, I would say that there's something there to worry about. That's what you typically see when companies or organizations are trying to hide something. They've actually circumvented corporate policy regarding emails or whatever else it is. But they actually, this is exactly what you would expect in this kind of situation where data was lost and more than 6 months transpired.
If I were to use that excuse to the IRS that I just couldn't find, you know what? I lost those receipts. They were on my hard drive, and guess what? I recycled my hard drive.
Well, you know, I
go to jail. So would you.
Different types of data have different requirements in terms of safeguarding them and making sure that the information is backed up. Sure, the IRS's critical systems where you submit your income and the taxes paid to them, yeah, they have a different requirement. The IRS's emails, they're not as mission critical to what the IRS does.
So someone said, well, what about all the recipients of some of the emails that Lois Lerner was sending? Guess what happened? They couldn't find those either.
Well,
those are missing too.
They actually recovered about 86,000 of those.
I know, but not the ones that we're looking for. We're looking for a period of time where Lois Lerner was emailing. The committee wants to know who she was emailing, what she was saying. Because here, I'll be conspiratorial, okay? I'll throw it out there. What if she's emailing the White House? And what if the White House says, yeah, go after the Tea Party groups, go after the conservative groups, because we don't want to deal with them in 2012?
Well, here's the problem. As I said at the very beginning, conservative groups were targeted at the same rate that liberal and progressive groups were because of the requirements of these 501c organizations. These organizations are not supposed to be doing the types of things that they're doing on both sides of the aisle, and that's the root of the problem. If Paul Ryan wants to yell at somebody and take some action, he should create a new 501c
also
organization.
Part of the taking the fifth.
Yeah.
She's taking the fifth. We can't get the emails. The servers are gone. The people she sent emails to, those hard drives are gone. Everything's gone. Where's the transparency here, Steve? The American people aren't dumb. They watch this stuff on TV and they go, there's no way. There's no way. This just does not add up. When it doesn't add up, usually it doesn't add up.
Well, I will agree with you there. When Lois Lerner took the fifth, I was a little bit perturbed. I was a little bit upset. Here's the thing, though. With all of these scandals that you see that Republicans are trying to monger here on the American people, they stop short of actually trying to find out what the truth is. They want the allegation to be out there. They don't actually go all the way to find out and get to the bottom of it, because they know that at the bottom of it there's no scandal.
Either that or the truth is hidden in those emails. We'll never know. At least we won't know. Steve, we're going to have to leave it right there.
All right,
Thank you very much.